process that goes.
Another
goes from
14
there.
days.
Yeah.
So it could be the end of January.
Let me ask, Mr. St. John, if I can put you on the spot, is that in fact, if you wouldn't mind just coming up to the mic just so they can hear you. I know I'm putting you on the spot, you didn't prepare for this, but is that consistent with your understanding of how the statute works?
Yes. However, we believe that the innovation design teams have bypassed the law because this is supposed to be a conversion school. This is what the school committee discussed.
Yeah.
Long ago, they said it was going to be a conversion school, which meant that the teachers at the school would have a vote, 2/3 vote. And then to bypass the law, the design teams set it up so that it would bypass the teachers at these schools and that the school committee would make the final decision.
All right, so with, the statute creates two types of schools. One's a conversion school and one's a new school. And at least in the case of the Renaissance, the proposed Renaissance school, that is proposed, that's call it a school within a school, so it doesn't fit neatly within either of those two categories, right?
No, excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
I don't want this to be a
Yeah.
debate, so I'll turn to you in a second. So, all right, I know I'm putting you on the spot with this, and I'm asking you what in effect is a legal question, but so it's your position that this is a conversion school?
Yes.
If it's treated, if the state says no, it's a new school, then they still have to negotiate with the teachers union. And so I guess my question is, have they started that negotiation at all?
No, there have been no negotiations with us, but if it's a conversion school, they wouldn't have to negotiate with the union. It would be basically the 2/3 vote of the teachers in that building. I can explain to you what a conversion school is.
If it's a conversion.
If it's a new school,
Yeah.
which I don't believe this is.
All right, but
and
just assume that it is. But what would, in your view, happen?
It's not,
All right, but what if it is? What I'm
but
saying.
it's not. I'm sorry, but it's not.
All
I
right.
can tell you, I think it's important to explain the differences between the two.
All right, good.
I've read the statute just like you have. A conversion school means that a conversion school can be full or it can be partial. So they could take over the whole school or just a piece of it. It impacts everybody in that building. Every teacher, every custodian, every cafeteria person. It impacts everybody in that building. So because it impacts everybody in that building, you give a say to the teachers that work in that building. A new school, the intent of a new school is you would have it perhaps in a separate building somewhere, and it's not going to have an impact on anybody in the school because it's brand new. And in this particular case,
A separate building.
a separate building. In this particular case, it's going to affect everybody.
Yeah.
That's why we talked about that separate but unequal, because you're going to have some children who are going to have more services than other children, and we don't think that that's fair. And we think the spirit of the law is that this is a conversion school, and if the teachers in that building want this, collectively want this, then the union has absolutely no say in the matter.
All right, I appreciate it. I just wanted to figure out what you're reading in the statute. This is helpful. I think in either case, we're not going to be able to stick with
The answer to your question, sir, was that there have been no negotiations with us at all.
Okay, all right, thanks, Lou. Yep, go ahead.
And my sense is, even if this were a conversion school, there would need to be negotiations mainly in terms of the autonomies that would be inherent within that conversion school. So the union would have to sit down with that conversion school and go through the process of discussing those autonomies and finding out exactly which autonomies they agree with, which autonomies are in accord with the current contract, and which have to be adjusted. So there still would be a negotiation. And when we voted as a school committee, we voted for innovation schools and not conversion schools. We voted for the procedure of establishing schools that were innovative, creative with new ideas, and as to their establishment within schools, that was completely within the realm of that possibility also.
Yes, I mean, I our vote was to establish innovation schools. That was the initial vote in, I want to say it was January, December, and there was no stipulation about conversion or startup schools, number one. And number two, my understanding from people who are working on this, that these proposals are complying with the spirit and letter of the statute.
Yeah, I guess the question is whether it's a conversion or it's a new school, but either way, either way, my question, the reason I bring it up is for a more mundane reason, and that is, we're not going to be able to stick with this timeline that we imposed on ourselves
Right.